Happy first anniversary. It should be a joyous day, but I'm actually kind of busy right now. Luku's come down with a severe case of baby fever. It's... Hey, what is your name anyway? I don't think you ever told me. Huh. Wait, how did you get a teaching license? Whatever. This is a huge problem. I've never dealt with a sick kid before. And this has to be the worst background character to get sick. Now who will I put next to the chalkboard? I'm a little worried about the future of my channel. But maybe, just maybe, if I look into another virus I do know, I might be able to help her get better. Pokerus. If you feverishly played any of the games, then you'll know all about this bizarre mechanic. But, assuming that a good portion of my audience don't have that level of addiction, I'll explain what it is. Starting from Gen 2, there's a small chance that Pokemon can get a type of sickness. This sickness basically makes them stronger as you continue fighting. This one mechanic is so well known yet barely ever talked about, and I find it really interesting. Like, I haven't heard it yet brung up in conversation for years. However, I don't feel like I'm qualified to talk about this. If only there was a doctor on this plane. Well, you, dear viewer, are in luck. Call me Dr. Love, professional in romance and, wouldn't you know it, rare illnesses that can affect Pokemon between the generations of 2 and 8. I don't use that degree for much. Get ready, because who's bored? Not me. I'm Dr. Love, and today we'll be taking a clinical look at the bizarre workings of Pokerus and investigating its mysterious disappearance. Pokerus is a complete enigma to my mind. I'm not confused or lost, I'm mostly just wondering why it exists. Probably the most well-known thing about Pokerus is how rare it is. Now, off the top of your head, can you guess how likely it is to infect a Pokemon? Well, let me help you. According to Bulba... Oh, yeah. Guess she's, What can I do about this?
Hey, it's me, Sneasel, from the Sneasel Family video. I don't think many people watched that one, so I thought I'd point that out. I think we're running out of cat food. You should probably get on that. 'Cause, you know, I eat.
Okay, according to Bulbapedia, the rate is 3 out of 65,000. It further estimates this to be 1 out of 21,000. Oh my god. This rate stays consistent in every game, meaning that in Generation 8 you have the chance of finding 5 full odd shinies or more before getting naturally occurring Pokerus. Furthermore, Pokerus only helps a Pokemon train their EVs, a hidden value that helps determine a Pokemon's strength. This is what I mean. I actually can't find a good reason for why Pokerus was ever made, from literally any perspective. It's so rare that you, yes you, are statistically guaranteed to basically never see it. That's why Pokerus is exclusive to people who have traded tons and tons. Hackers love putting Pokerus on everything because, even if the hacked Pokemon is sort of worthless, at least the Pokerus attached to it is helpful. See, you infect other Pokemon if the Pokemon with Pokerus is in the same party as them, benefiting everyone. Still doesn't help honestly, because getting Pokerus in any game without online is the equivalent of shooting a bullseye with a speck of sand while balancing on one leg blindfolded. Like, you'll technically get it after enough time, but only because a monkey with a typewriter will write Shakespeare eventually. Okay, so a really funny thing happened while I was making this video, and it's really funny. I actually got a little sick. I got a low fever while making a video about Pokemon sickness, and I thought it would be a shame if I didn't record this unscripted part while I was still like this. So I actually made a small mistake. I don't think anyone was gonna catch it. This video is actually not releasing on the anniversary. The anniversary was like a month ago on January 31st. And what's even funnier is that the Lucario video coincidentally came out about 2 days before the anniversary. So if we want to be literal, the Lucario video was the anniversary video. You might be wondering what caused me to make a mistake this massive. I actually just misremembered the date completely. I remembered it being March 3rd for some reason, not January 30th, which is such a massive gap. But I'm speechless. This is the funniest thing that could have happened while making this video. And yeah, I just wanted to clear that up because this is not released on the anniversary, but it is the official anniversary video. This probably won't happen again. I know it's odd for me to start questioning things so early, but don't worry. This is literally the least important question. Anywho, Pokerus very much comes off to me as a random thing that someone added to the game, probably out of boredom. Generations 1 and 2 were developed fairly loosely, and it's completely believable that one of the team members just thought it would be cool. I just personally don't see something this specific and useless ever getting approved in an actual serious meeting. It's impressive that something this ridiculously unlikely became a series staple. Honestly, all the phrasing revolving around it is really interesting. For example, the games are dedicated to making it clear when your Pokemon has had Pokerus before, and uses medical language like antibodies to do it, more or less confirming that it's just like a real world sickness. Oh yeah, before we move on, I'd like to share a fact that I haven't seen anyone mention. Have you ever asked why the game indicates when a Pokemon has had Pokerus before? Most people think it's because the Pokemon can't get infected twice, which is true, but unnecessary to indicate due to how rare it is already. No player will ever wonder why their Pokemon doesn't have Pokerus. No, it's probably because, well, a Pokemon still has the Pokerus power boost even after it's recovered. That's right, the only thing that happens when a Pokemon heals is that they're no longer contagious. Hello, I'm Mr. Candy from the Rare Candies video! I don't think many people watched it, so I thought I'd point that out! I'm here to pay my respects! She's sick, not dead. Well, I'm trying my best to make sure she doesn't die. I wasn't sure what she liked, so I brought her what all kids love. Chives! Kids do love chives.
Before today, I wasn't even aware that she actually counted as a character. Thought it was just like you putting a kid in a random place again. Weirdo.
I'm not really sure what counts and doesn't count as a character, honestly. Are you a character? What? I mean, you're not a giant fat hamster in real life, right? No, but, all my opinions here are just my normal opinions. I talk more or less as I normally do.
Okay, but right now you're talking to us like a character.
Is this your persona? No, just... I don't know.
Well, you should know.
Yeah, you made this!
You should talk about the disappearance of Pokerus.
Oh my god. Thank you, Tamaki Reika from the Lost Legacy of Lucario video. Pokerus was a series constant up until Legends Arceus, which removed it. That's fine since it's, at best, a side series to the core games. But then Scarlet also removed it. And ZA. And I didn't even know until researching this very video. Usually Pokemon YouTubers are the first to share even the smallest, dumbest changes, but somehow one of the most iconic indicators of a hacked Pokemon slipped under their radar. This is the biggest question I have today. Why won't anyone talk about the sudden disappearance of Pokerus? You could argue that an unimportant and honestly random mechanic like this deserves to be forgotten, and scrapped, but it just doesn't add up in my head. 25 years with a mechanic that every friend knew about and many used. Pokemon fans in general almost never forget about things like this, or whine when they're taken out. It's puzzling, but I do have one tiny idea. So there was, a global pandemic a few years ago. Hey, don't look away from the screen. We all lived through it, and I think it has something to do with what went wrong here. In fact, it explains not only the silence about its disappearance, but its disappearance in general. See, if we grab all the numbers we have, everything lines up. As Sword and Shield wrapped up development, so likely somewhere between early and mid 2019, they probably began planning and development on Scarlet and Violet. And because of what they said, we know that Legends Arceus was developed side by side with it. This all checks out since our earliest documented beta builds of Arceus is from somewhere in 2019. For Scarlet, we'll just have to infer, since the earliest known build is from 2021. Though it's far along enough that planning has likely ended, so I'm still sticking with the 2019 timeline. This would mean the pandemic began just as the team was getting their ducks in a row and, likely, starting to take little strides. Legends was so early that turn-based battling wasn't even planned. With all this on the table, it stands to reason that Pokerus was removed so that people wouldn't connect it with what would eventually be a very traumatic time. Makes sense to me. This then rippled into the YouTube community for the same reasons. The virus's name is basically a bad word here, so no one would even dare mention something similar. Additionally, it was just, kind of a bad time. 2022 and 2023 are still a lot closer to than a lot of us remember, so mentioning any sort of virus was bound to bring back some dark memories. And once the dust had finally started settling, we all just sort of forgot. I'm bored. It's time for the conclusion. Pokerus is, and always has been, just really odd. A strange little mechanic that you'd basically never see without hacking or trading that helped you raise invisible stats. Despite its ridiculously niche applications, it just kept returning in every single game, eventually becoming a staple. But then the pandemic happened, and probably feeling the pressures of a sickly world, Game Freak removed it. YouTubers seemingly swore off it, and everyone just forgot about it. It's sad to see something so old go without so much as a goodbye. I guess it's just one of the many things in this world that just can't stand the cultural test of time. And that's all I have to say. If there's one thing I learned, it's that if you ever have a massive problem, just ignore it and hope everyone forgets about it. Did you even remember what the main gag of this video was? I thought so. Alright, how do you feel? I'm glad to hear. Dr. Love's work here is done. But what about the anniversary? Well, I'm a little busy lately. I have a life outside of here, you know. But I think we can do one thing to celebrate this year.
A big cliche group photo?
I'll bring the chives!
And I'm Sonic the Hedgehog, also from the Lucario video.
I don't know how I'll fit every video in, but here goes nothing. What a year. Thank you all for watching. I really can't voice how amazing this has been for me. Now that it's been a full year, I think it's okay for me to look back on it and acknowledge just how wonderful it's truly been. Here's to a great year 2, filled with many more videos, many more gags, and hopefully that baby challenge video I've been teasing for like 2 months now. Would be cool if I could put like a teaser for that or something, just to give you guys a preview of what's to come. Thank you to my friends Spooky Pookie, Chaos Blood Ninja, and Lunar for lending me their voices in this video. If you want to see behind the scenes goodies, or just want to know when I'll upload again, hop on over to my community posts and take a little peek. Remember to follow my Tumblr and Blue Sky for art, and my Wattpad and AO3 for fanfictions as well. All my socials are bored in a good way, don't forget the underscores, and I always try to respond to DMs. My ask box is open no matter the type of day or weather, so my ask box on Tumblr is open no matter the type of day or weather, so keep that in mind too. And remember, always, stay bored.